to be a black woman running for president of the United States and as a vice presidential running mate, a gay man, with the stakes being so high, it made me very sad, but I also realized it would be a real risk.
I'm very upset with that statement from her because Biden could have said the same thing about you in 2020, that it was an extreme risk given the highly contextual, given the highly contextual state of our democracy in 2020 and who was running. Biden could have said the same thing about you. Biden could have said, well, as a black woman, it would be a high risk for you to run with me. So let me do the safe choice and choose a white man. And that's what you did. You essentially discriminated against Pete Buttigieg because he was gay. If he was not gay, then he would have been your running choice. That's exactly what you said. So to backtrack on that and try and smooth over that opinion, you can't, because it's the truth. It's in there. State your truth. This is what I felt at the time. Was it the right choice? No. I personally don't think it was the right choice. I think a lot of people would have been happy at that time to see a black woman and a gay man on a ticket. And I think a lot of people would have turned out even more to vote for you guys. And I think what turned a lot of people away was your choice of Tim Walz on that ticket as your running mate for vice president. Because who is Tim Walz? No one has heard of Tim Walz. I think it was a bad choice for her not to choose Pete Buttigieg. And I thought it was a horrible choice for her not to choose what's his name? Josh Shapiro or Joseph Shapiro in Pennsylvania. Like, I think it was a horrible choice. I think she had a unique opportunity to make history, and she chose a safe route that didn't get her to the destination. And that's sad to me. That's sad that she chose, in her own sense, she doesn't want to admit it, but discrimination because she felt it was too much of a risk.
No matter how, I've been an advocate and an ally of...
And I'm not saying she's not an advocate and an ally for the LGBTQ plus community. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying she let her fear of risk win over her opportunity for reward with Pete Buttigieg.
Of the LGBT community my entire life. So it wasn't about any prejudice on my part, but
that
we had such a short period of time. And the stakes were so high.
I remember when she said Tim Walz, and I said, who the f*** is that? Who the f*** is Tim Walz? Why didn't she pick Shapiro or Buttigieg? Like, two very strong choices for candidacy to run on that ticket.
Is a phenomenal public servant. Mm-hmm. And I think America...
a great representation.
...is and would be ready for that. But when I had to make that decision with 2 weeks to go, and maybe I was being too cautious.
I think she was being
I'll let
too
our
cautious.
We should all talk about that. Maybe I was.
She was, and I can say that hands down. You were being too cautious.
But that's the decision I made, and I, as with everything else in the book, I'm being very candid about that.
Yeah.
With a great...
I do give her props, though, for standing on her own merit here, because she's not truly backtracking, but I know she's not a bigot. Everyone knows Kamala Harris is not a bigot. But I do think she made the wrong choice in choosing Tim Walz over Pete Buttigieg or Shapiro.
A great deal of sadness about also the fact that it might have been a risk.